Hey everybody, let's keep talking about Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition. Now last week I gave you my top 5 tips for placing systems. It's what I consider the first of 3 first turns in this game. Now this week I'm going to be talking about picking strategy cards on the first round of play. There are 8 cards and I'm going to put them in 5 tiers. Keep in mind, these tiers only really hold up for the first round of play. After that, everything becomes a lot less predictable. So, without further ado, let's go into my top 5 picks for strategy cards on the first round of Twilight Imperium 3rd Edition, or TFPFSCOTFROTITE for short. Man, I'm nailing these acronyms. Tier 1 is Warfare. Pick Warfare. I mean, if you have the option on round 1, always take Warfare. I will defend this opinion to the bitter end, because the first thing you want to do in the game is expand, and Warfare lets you settle one extra system than you otherwise would. If you played your systems right, this will jumpstart your economy in a great way and put you in an excellent starting position. And bonus, if your race starts with XRD transporters, you can get to Mechatol Rex on the first round. Oh god! Your second choice should be one of these 3. Each of them are good no matter what, but depending on your circumstances, one of them might be better or worse for you. For example, if you're playing the Universities of Jolnar, you probably don't want to pick Technology because it's likely that someone else will. In that case, you would want to pick Initiative, because then you won't have to pay the command counter when they play their technology. Likewise, if you're playing the Nalu Collective, who go first no matter what, Initiative's not going to be as important to you. And then there's Trade, which is good for anybody, though it's best for Emirates of Hakan, who are just all about trading all the time. But really, any of these are good, so pick whichever appeals to you. If all of the Tier 1 or Tier 2 strategy cards are taken, or if the ones that are left just don't appeal to you, feel free to pick either Logistics or Political. Now, they're both fine cards. Personally, Logistics sits a little bit higher than Political for me, but I put them on Tier 3 because they don't particularly benefit you on the first round. Logistics is good if you want to use the secondary ability of other strategies, but unless you're playing a 4-player game where all the strategy cards are going to be taken every turn, you're not really going to have a chance to use those counters right away. Of course, if you are playing a 4-player game, then Logistics might actually be bumped up to Tier 2 for that very reason. Anyway, Political is good if your home system planets have high influence, but if they don't, it can kind of come back and bite you in the ass. It also gives you 3 action cards, which can be really good, or they can suck. So, double-edged sword there. You might be wondering why I put what is arguably the most important strategy card so low on the list. Well, first, keep in mind that I'm only talking about first-round picks here. And second, most people always go for Imperial if they have the chance. And don't get me wrong, it's a great card, but the secondary ability is so good on the first round, I wouldn't want to miss out on the opportunity to use it. And as for the primary, you'll get it eventually, so I just wouldn't worry about it too much early on. Now, what's most important first round is setting yourself up for future success, so for that reason, it's pretty low. Last is Diplomacy. Do not pick Diplomacy. Never pick Diplomacy first round, because it's worse than useless. See, no one's ever going to attack you first round, and everyone's going to benefit from the secondary ability. Now, of course, if you're playing a 4-player game and you end up having to pick Diplomacy, well, play it right away, because then only the person with Initiative is going to be able to play it, or Nalu, I guess, if they're in the game, those fuckers. Or if you think you can hack it, wait as long as possible so that everyone will have already taken their turn and won't be able to benefit from it. That's tricky too. The point is, Diplomacy sucks. Don't pick it. Just don't pick it. So, those are my top 5 tips for picking strategy cards in the first round. Hopefully it helps any first-time players. Maybe more experienced players can let me know in the comments below what their top 5 picks are. Next video, I'll be talking about the first action round, so I'll see you then.